morning. It feels so good to be back doing this again. I know there's probably a lot of new faces since I've been here before, so welcome. It's so nice to meet you all. I'm Shannon, aka Todd's wife. Might not be the pretty one, but I'm definitely the funnier one. And for you OG CBDP crew, I just want to tell you how much I miss you all. And I hope to do more of this in 2023 and to get to the offices and see you and hug you and all the things. And so I'm also a certified integrated nutrition health coach, for those of you who may not know that. And so I'm super passionate about health and vitality, so it seemed a natural fit to be on Fitspo Friday today. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in. I've got my notes right here. So in the past, I've talked a lot about stats on these focused or fitness Fitspo Fridays. You know, stats like Americans gain an average of 8 pounds between November 1st and January 1st over the holidays. 41% of all Americans make New Year's resolutions. The top 3, I wonder if anybody could probably guess the top 3. I'd love to see that. I'd love some interaction, by the way. I love interaction. The top 3, if you know, shoot one in there, but they all have to do with weight, health, etc. Top 3 being exercise more. The first one, eat healthier, whatever that means. Yes, Sarah, sleep should be on it, but it's not. Talk more about that in a minute. And then lose weight is the 3rd one. The 4th one is save more money. And ironically, if you exercise more and ate healthier and had a healthier body weight, you would be able to save more money because medical expenses are astronomical. But then 87% of Americans don't keep their New Year's resolutions. And honestly, by what was it? Oh, I just lost my thing. Sorry, you guys. By November, or by February, 41% will fail. 43% will fail. 87% of all that make them will fail. So sorry, I just got my screen messed up. Today, though, y'all, I wanted to go in a different direction. And I want to apologize in advance. I should have brought some tissues if I get a little emotional. There are so many factors that affect not just weight gain this time of year, but our mental, emotional, and just our overall physical health as well. Things like sleep, things like stress, less physical activity, seasonal depression is a real thing. All the anxiety that comes, with traveling, and oh my word, this traveling year was super crazy, right? With everyone having all of their flights canceled and whatnot. Increased alcohol consumption certainly is a factor. And all those statistics are not very uplifting. So I wanted to be, hopefully a little more uplifting, because with all those stats being so incredibly depressing, what can we even do to set ourselves apart? Because that's what we've been called. God has already set us apart. It says in Deuteronomy 14:2, you have been set apart. He has chosen you to be his own special treasure. And I really want you guys to hear that. You have been chosen as a special treasure by God himself. So how do you become part of the 13% club? And not just that 13% club, in real estate, there's one, and in New Year's resolutions, there's one. Go figure. I think it's kismet. But part of the 1% club, and by that, I mean those that win and then keep going. And then they inspire others, and then they become part of the 13% club, because that's what our company foundation is built on. We want to change lives. And we want to change how many lives? I feel like it should be a cheer. How many lives? More lives, all the lives, whatever. We want to change as many lives as possible. So the first thing that you need to do is decide. Just decide that you want a different outcome at the end of 2023. The reality is that the reality you're experiencing today is a result of the decisions and choices that you made yesterday. So if you want a different reality tomorrow, just make different decisions, right? So simple. It's not. It's not that simple. I was just telling Todd yesterday that I've just been feeling floating around and almost like a ping pong ball, allowing myself to get caught up in so many distractions. So, I get hit over there because that person needs me and I need to attend to that. And then hit back over here and then back over here and pinging and ponging and pinging and ponging. And somehow in there, I've just like everything, all of my discipline, my structure, all of that stuff is pretty much gone by the wayside. And many of them are very worthy distractions, but they are distractions nonetheless. And so forcing myself to be real honest with myself, which is not easy for an Enneagram 3. They just like to, those emotions and things like that are super messy and inefficient. But I realized that I just didn't feel worthy or valuable enough to say no to the distractions so I could say yes to myself. And the truly messed up part about it is that I was contributing to this stupid cycle because the more I pinged and ponged, the less of myself I had to give to those worthy distractions. There's all the chatter about finding your why and what's your why. And so if you want to lose 30 pounds, your why is your kids. And if you fail, you're telling your kids they're not important. I think that's terrible. I feel like we're in such a, we have enough shame that we put on ourselves. The last thing we need is another reason to feel like a loser. So, my why is my wife, it's my husband, my kids, my parents, my nonprofit. But did it ever occur to you that you could be your own why? And you freaking should. Because if you can't show up for all of the people in your life that love you the most and that you need to be there for the most as your best self, then it's kind of lost in translate. If you're only showing up as 60% of Shannon, I'm 75% of Shannon, that's really not awesome for my husband and my kids and my friends and family and all of the people that I need to show up for and that I should be showing up for as my best self. Some days my best self is not as good as other days, but that's okay. As long as I'm continuing making sure that I'm making myself my way. You are worth it. I want to say this with intention and compassion. Whatever you want to choose for your 2023, whether you want to make a New Year's resolution, I'll have these audacious, big, hairy, audacious goals. You are worth it. You are a miracle. A miracle by definition is something that is so unlikely. It is pretty much impossible, right? So did you know that, according to scientists, the odds of you being born are about 1 in 400 trillion or more. So by that definition, you are a miracle. And you cannot change a body. You cannot heal a body that you do not love. So as I said, we're experts in that shame department. Never feeling enough, focusing on what we should be, what we should do, what we should have, instead of all that we have already done. So I want to say to you, on behalf of all of your loved ones, ladies, mamas, thank you. Thank you for buying all the Christmas gifts and wrapping them and sending them to in-laws and maybe some outlaws and everyone in between. Thank you for your presence, showing up for your family, cooking, making travel plans, organizing the family traditions that everyone says is such a pain, and then they do them and they realize they actually enjoy themselves. But they probably still won't admit it. Thank you for being food providers. Those of you that are working for everything that came in the stockings and under the trees. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for putting together a million toys and pieces and for making sure that we had enough batteries. Thank you for teaching our kids how to use their new toys. Thank you for teaching them how to be great men and great women. Thank you for providing many of those. The reason that we have the Christmas that we have is because you work so hard. Thank you for putting up Christmas trees and Christmas lights. And I might kind of call someone out, but thank you for, maybe not only putting up and decorating a Christmas tree, but then you realize that your wife doesn't maybe like said Christmas tree. And so you take it down and go shopping for a new Christmas tree. My prayer for all of you, myself included, is that grace will be loosed upon you so you can authentically experience the gratitude so many have toward you. We are gloriously human and perfectly imperfect. We falter and fly, fall and triumph, cry, laugh, forget, remember, forget again, hurt, heal, dream, love. Our one-of-a-kind uniqueness is amazing. So decide to choose you, and you are worth it. And they will be so grateful that you did. Okay, so I have 3 more. I promise I'm going to go a little faster. And they are in no particular order. Drink up, people, drink up. And by that, I mean water, of course. A lot of the weight gain that we put on throughout the holiday season is bloat, because it takes really a ton of calories to put on actual body fat. So if we just stay hydrated, we can flush some of the extra sodium and bloat from our body. And so that's just a super simple, no-brainer. Just drink more water. People always ask me, how much water should I drink? And there are so many fancy formulas you could Google and find, depending on your gender, your age, your elevation, your activity level, blah, blah, blah. I just tell people more. Just drink more water. Just whatever you have, whatever you drink currently, just drink more. Aim for a goal of like a gallon a day would be ideal. More is even fine too. But just drink more and start small, and just start wherever you are and just start with a little more. Especially if we drink a lot of water, we don't get those false hunger cues. We are chronically dehydrated for the most part. And so a lot of the times we feel we're hungry, we're just really thirsty. So, and water is just super important for our metabolism. I know I did a 5-part series on macronutrients where I devoted one to water and the impact it has on your metabolism. So I hope Shannon, I'm sure she can find it and link it for you. But drink more water. Next is do not diet. I've said it before, I must say it again. Diet is a 4-letter word that should not be uttered. Right? That's how you lose weight, right? You go on a diet, that's how you lose weight. Well, yeah, you will. Any diet you go on, if you follow the rules, you will lose weight. Guarantee you. I can make that 100% statement. But if it's not sustainable, you cannot, and you go back to eating how you did before, you're going to gain the weight that you lost back, and often then some. If you decide to try any of those, keto, paleo, Whole30, all of these things, yes, you're going to lose weight. But if you don't sustain that new way of fueling your body, you'll just gain it back. I was talking to one of Cash's friend's moms the other day, and her name is Karen. Really, Karen, poor girl. Even Cash said that. Poor thing. But she said, oh my gosh, I did keto before. I lost 10 pounds. It was great, but then I just gained it back. And I'm like, yes, it's just, I don't know how many diets we all have to go on before we realize that, yeah, I just need to figure out a way that this can be my way of life. This is just how I eat. Everything is fine in moderation. You can have some of the sweets and treats. If you tell someone, I'm not going to have sugar, I'm not going to have this. It's like I told you to focus on the spot in your forehead, just above your right eyebrow. Focus there. Now focus. Now imagine it's starting to itch. Don't scratch it. Just focus. Focus on that spot right above your right eyebrow. All you want to do is scratch it. That's the same thing as dieting. If you say, I'm not going to have sugar, all you want is sugar. I'm going to cut out alcohol. All you want to do is have a glass of wine. So don't diet. Make small changes and something that's going to be fit within not just your lifestyle, but your family, because you're going to be around. You can't get rid of those people. They're around. So it needs to work for everyone. And then lastly, prioritize recovery and sleep. Sleep quantity and sleep quality are two different things, and both are important. Todd and I don't know if you've seen him, but we've got these Whoop straps. And it's literally like WHOOP, Whoop strap. And they're pretty amazing in all of the data that we are able to see. But they show me that my sleep could be like 75%, which, I mean, that's really good for me. But my recovery might be only 43% because my heart rate variability was wonky, was super low or whatever, because the sleep wasn't as restorative as it needed to be. It calculates your REM sleep, it calculates your light sleep, deep sleep, all that. It's really cool. If you guys are interested, shoot me a message and I can get you a link to get like a free month of it. It's pretty amazing, but it's such a powerful control of our metabolisms. And so if we are not fully, rested and recovered and focusing on this that's restorative, we need to have restorative sleep so we are able to show up for ourselves, so then we are able to be the best version for our people. I also did a video on sleep and your metabolism, and it was astonishing. There's studies like, healthy lean test subjects that were given the exact same diets, and they had 4 nights of sleep that was 8.5 hours, and then the next 4 nights it was cut to 4.5 hours, and identical food intake, strictly controlled. Then they had some intravenous glucose tolerance tests that measures total body insulin sensitivity, and then also they had a biopsy done removing abdominal fat cells. And what they realized is that the fat cells in just 4 days, they responded as if the lean people were suddenly obese. It's that much of an impact on our metabolism. It's just crazy, and it also causes us to not make good food choices and things like that the next day. So those are my 4 tips for you on this Friday before the last Friday of the year for 2023. I just hope all of you are going in boldly and confidently with this is going to be the best year yet. And if I can be of any help, please shoot me a message. As I said, I am a certified health coach. I'd love to chat with you if you have questions or goals or anything that you wanted to work with somebody on. So I hope you all have an amazing Friday and hope to see more of you in 2023. I love you all so much, and be distinctive.